But I went off into the military. I did 4 years active. I've been in the reserves ever since. I'm right at 20 years now as a veteran. I come out in June. Outside of that, I'm a mother, a wife, businesswoman. Chandeliers for Christ. That's my youth mentoring agency. And basically, I have it in my heart to give back to young women, specifically young women that look like me. We don't have enough role models in our inner city, and I feel like we owe it to our children, especially being the mother of a daughter, and just growing up in the inner city, making sure that our kids have real-life role models that they can reach out to, look up to, someone that's going to lead them. Always, kids don't always want to hear from their parents.
Right.
They get to an age to where they need to hear something else or to see somebody else that's putting it in action, and that's basically what they're doing. Outside of that, I'm about to move. I work for VA full-time as a human resource representative, and between VA and the Army, I've always done human resources. I've done a lot of coaching and consulting and talking about benefits and things like that, helping soldiers get their finances together. So now that I'm about ready to transition out of that, I'm looking at moving into maybe more of a coaching and a speaking arena. So that's what my more to come is.
What made you go into the military?
My mom was really strict, Ebony. My mom was really strict. Nothing below a B was acceptable in my house. So education kind of came naturally, but it also came forced. And once I hit high school, I was like, you know what? I won't do school anymore. This has been shoved down my throat for so long, but I refused to stay home. So
you wanted to get out too?
Yes, I had to get out and on my own. And we had a recruiter over at Tech who came over, and he started talking about the military. And I asked him, you know, I took the ASVAB just to get out of class, to take a break and to kind of chill out for a little bit. And he came and, you know, he just started telling me the benefits of being in the Army. And I'm like, wait, hold up. You're going to provide me my clothing. You're going to provide me a place to stay. You're going to train me on my job, and you're going to pay me to do all of this?
Like,
no, I didn't want to go to school. That's what I wanted to do.
Was it hard being, you know, female? Because I'm sure back then it was a little bit, not, you know, aging or anything, but I know it's been kind of, the more they voice, you know, women's rights and things like that. Was it difficult when you made that transition to go into the service?
Not at all.
Okay.
I have to say I loved being, especially active duty. It was like my family away from my family. I absolutely love that. People looked out for you. My first duty station, I left here and I went to Fort Jackson, which is in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
That's where I did all of my training. I did postal training. Administrative specialist is what we were back then. And then we transitioned to human resource specialist. But from there, I went to Korea. Korea was a different animal because it was officially me being away, not just away from home, but out of the state.
Right.
So it was something completely different, a different culture for me. But I loved it, and they weren't used to seeing dark-skinned women. So it was almost like we were on this little platform. Adashi is what you call a Korean men. They come up to you, and they want to touch your skin and feel your hair and all types of stuff. You walk through, did a lot of work at Kempo, which is the airport over there. And I would have to take the train sometimes by myself. It would be dark. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. You see these little dogs running through the alley. The dogs literally run from us over there. So I was selected.
They run from us instead of we running from them?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now. Y'all better catch that. Y'all better pick that up now.
But yes, as women, you get to shop and do all kind of stuff. And I just enjoy meeting people. I've always been a people person. So getting out and talking to people from different cultures and learning about them and traveling throughout various locations. That's been my biggest takeaway from the military.
So how many years did you actually serve?
This year is my 20th year.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations. Now, throughout serving and figuring out exactly what did you want to do, how did the entrepreneur spirit, you know, get lit in you and you wanted to start doing your own thing? Because I remember when I first talked to you, you're like, I know what I want to do, but I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. When did that fire get lit?
I would say we talked, maybe early last year?
Yeah.
Beginning of 2018.
Yeah.
And just doing a lot of traveling with my Chandeliers for Christ. My son keeps me going. So sometimes I can't really be everywhere that I want to be at the same time. He does basketball. As a matter of fact, he has a basketball tournament going on now. Right now. So between basketball and football and working on entrepreneurship, I just had to take a pause. And some of it was forced because I had some health issues going on last year as well. And I just kind of thought and looked at the bigger picture. I'm like, okay, I've worked. I watched my parents work. Where does the joy come from? We spend so much time and we're so groomed into working because that's what we think that we have to do to make a living, that we forget to enjoy those moments. I looked up and I'm like, wait, my baby's 13 years old. Yeah. I can't have any more kids. So, I mean, I'm almost going through that process where I'm like, babe, what are we going to do when these kids leave the house? I'm going to be a mess. Right. So just wanting to have that freedom to still make the income, support my family, but to also spend time with them and support them and what they want to do. And I realized that entrepreneurship is the only way to do that. I can work, and when I'm dead and gone from VA, they're going to put me in a box. Somebody else is going to sit in that seat, and they're going to move on with what they're doing.
So right now with everything that's going on, you know, with the government shutdown and stuff, that doesn't affect active duty members, does it?
It does affect active duty members. I'm not sure if it's the case right now, only because I'm not active duty right now. But I know before when we had the shutdown, I was active duty. We did not get paid.
So thinking about that, and I know you want to chime in on this one because, you know, she's been keeping up with it. And I said she keeps me on point. We got to watch CNN to see what's going on. But thinking about that, and for me, about those employees that, you know, I've heard, you know, some of the folks say they should be able to survive for 30 days. And, you know, we don't know everyone's circumstance. You know, would this particular situation be an encouragement for those that are out there who have been thinking about going into business for themselves, but afraid, but now I'm working this job and I have to come in because if I don't, I can still lose my job and I'm not getting paid. Let's talk a little bit about that real quick.
I think it will be great to be an entrepreneur in this day and age because you wouldn't really be affected by the shutdown. It may affect some of your clientele and their ability to maybe generate profits and things like that. But as a business owner, you wouldn't, if I'm not working for federal government, I don't have to worry about, can I still get up and go to work? Am I going to have a job? Am I going to be furloughed? That type stuff, because of course you're working for yourself. So I think it's a huge motivation. And just seeing politics and the state of the economy as a whole, I think a lot of people give credit to our current administration for the good things, the positive things, the low interest rates. We've been buying homes at an all-time high and getting finance and approvals and things like that. But I told a coworker just last week, I'm like, do you really know how long it takes to turn an economy around? This current administration couldn't do that. We're reaping the benefits of the previous administration. Right. So those are the type things that I take into consideration.
All right. Well, you're listening to Hashtag on the Cruise right here on In Touch Radio, where everyone is a star. We're talking to Kathy Smith right now. And when we come back, we're going to jump into the life as a veteran moving into entrepreneurship. All right. Stay tuned, guys.
Touch Radio, the most loved station across the nation. In Touch Radio. Tell a friend. In Touch Radio.
My name is Gil Sampson. I didn't come from a very rich family, and so paying for college would have been very tough. I don't know if I would have been able to go to the college that I went to, and then I don't know if I would have gotten into the career that I am in. So I think Bright Futures has done a lot to shape my life. I got a job as a structural engineer, and I design residential buildings, commercial buildings all over the United States. Because of Bright Futures, I was able to go to college. You know, so many kids just don't even ever get that opportunity, and to be able to do it and not have any debt when I graduated is amazing, and it was all thanks to Bright Futures.
Florida has created more than 1 million jobs in only 5 years, and a great education connects our students to these exciting opportunities. That's why the Florida Lottery has funded Bright Futures scholarships to help over 725,000 students attend college. Because every play is for education. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
Hi, this is Dr. Veronica Walters, also known as Dr. V, the head of school at the Walters Academy for Entrepreneurship, a place that we like to call The Way, where we're educating today's youthpreneurs to be tomorrow's billionaires through social entrepreneurship. Do you have a student who's bored, frustrated, gifted, inquisitive, creative, business-minded? Then maybe you need to check The Way out. Listen, we have an educational platform that allows for individualized instruction. It's strength-based, project-based, and designed to help your student become the absolute best they can while starting their own business and being an entrepreneur. If you're looking for something different and you need to find a more excellent way, then you need to visit us at The Way. That's The Way, www.thewaetampa.org. Or you can call us at 813-603-7923. We look forward to showing your student a more excellent way at The Way.
And we are back. You are listening to hashtag On the Cruise right here on In Touch Radio, where everyone is a star. Now, forgive me, but I have not given out the number 813-444-9588. If you want to give us a call, ask any questions, get your voice heard on this radio station today. That is 813-444-9588. Now, some of you are probably like, where are you on Facebook Live, right? Well, listen, because technology has us everywhere, we are on YouTube today. You need to go to the In Touch News Radio YouTube channel and not only subscribe, but enjoy the live. Come check us out. Some of you are not used to YouTube lives, and this would be a great way to get going with it. So go over there, hang out on YouTube, surf around, learn how to use it, all of the above. All right, so today, for those of you that are just tuning in, I'm talking to Kathy Smith. Now, Kathy Smith is currently still active in the military. Well, you're still active. In the reserve. You're in the reserves, right. Right. So I keep saying veteran, so I just want to make sure I'm saying the right, right verbiage or whatnot. But where we're going is into talking about how it is to start a business being in the service, right? Because a lot of misconception that I hear is that, well, once you're in the military, you get all types of benefits. They give you this, they give you that. You could go anywhere and probably get a small business loan, etc. But let's talk about that transition, because you're still really in the phase of transition. You're making that leap right now, and you're preparing to make the entrepreneur leap. So, hey, April, how you doing? So anybody that is watching that is in that entrepreneur phase where they have a business, they're still working, they haven't decided how to do the leap, this part right here is really for you. It's tuned in for you. So let's go ahead and jump into the benefits and making the leap.
Okay. For me, I'm not aware of all of the resources that are given. I will say that in transitioning off of active duty over at MacDill Air Force Base, it's called TAPS now. And TAPS is a program for soldiers, sailors, airmen, basically military service members that are coming off of active duty, and they have people come in. I believe there's a partnership with Syracuse University, and they have this program where you're going from bootstraps to entrepreneurship, and they tell you the basics of entrepreneurship, but there's nothing that I found that literally walks you through starting a business. I personally got online. I did a little research. I went to irs.gov. I went to somebiz.org, and I looked at, okay, what are the details of the type of business that I want to do? Is it a corporation? Is it an LLC? Is it nonprofit or whatnot? I found that for mentoring, it fell underneath the nonprofit arena. Right. I got this great business coach by the name of Ebonne Cruz, and she hooked me up with an accountant. And I reached out to him, and Mr. Green and his team kind of helped me to set up the nonprofit piece of my business. They did all of my filing to the IRS and whatnot. And of course, you pay for those services and resources, but I haven't found anyone that's going to just give you a handout. Right. You're not really no one's giving us business loans because we're service members. You actually have to have good credit yourself. If you're going into business, you want to make sure that your own credit is already in a line and up to par, because lenders look at that. If you're a brand new business owner, they want to see, well, what are you doing in your personal life? And then from there, along with your resources or your collateral, that's where they determine what your line of credit will be.
Right now, one thing I want you all to take out of that is that although she didn't mention invest, she invests in herself. Now, in order to get her nonprofit going, some of us try to do it on our own, which, okay, that's fine. But to set up a nonprofit the correct way, if you have no idea how to do it, you definitely have to, I would suggest going outsourcing.
Yes.
Because you want... We're dealing with, nonprofits and the income that you get with, you want to do that correct the first time. And that is definitely why I didn't take over and be like, let me show you what to do. I'm like, this is who I know that does an awesome job. This is where you go. So you got to invest in yourself. Poet says she got it. All right, perfect. All right, so now, Miss Etta. All right, so we're going to switch a little bit. I know you guys that are watching on YouTube can see we have 3 people in here. We're shifting from veterans to she's just a mom, and that she just wanted to start doing something different for her kids. Single mother of 2, from Ohio. Welcome to Florida. And she started a microblading business, right? And so to get started with that, you had to train and stuff like that. Let's go into that part real quick.
Well, back you had to invest.
You had to invest.
You had to invest. But yes, I was just at the point where I was really just tired of working hard every day. I still work hard every day. So I'm a newbie to being on the success to being a great entrepreneur. So I'm a newbie to it. But I did know, as Ebony said, and, with a little her coaching, you have to invest. That's just the number one thing. You have to invest. You have to take the money that you're making and put it in your investments, so you don't have to, work as hard anymore at your job. But
tell them about your story from the initial, how you made it work, because she was struggling to make this work, and she just went out on faith and did it.
Yeah, I basically did. I looked into it. I knew I wanted to do something different in beauty, but I always done hair, and I knew I wanted to enhance that and be up to date with what's going on. And microblading and mink extensions is what it was. So I reached out to someone in Atlanta, and I took that trip, flew out there, got her to come out there and be my model for the event, which was really great. So I got certified and basically went back home and hit the ground running with, started promotions, doing sales, and just, master my craft with microblading and minks. And at this time, what I'm working on now is getting an online business, going with selling the products and selling my classes, on teaching people how to do the minks and microblading. So that's the next step I'm in my entrepreneur and being, successful with it. So.
Right. Awesome. So this is where some of that are on Facebook Live. I had someone saying good morning. I missed the other question, but I think if I'm not mistaken is when finances are already tight, how do you determine what you're going to do? How do you say I'm going to invest in this? What is the fear that you get over? Anybody can grab that one.
Well, I would say with me, it was just having to go working for myself and making more money. So if I had to sacrifice a little bit to get to the bigger picture for myself, I was willing to take that risk at the time. But when you do that, you have to stay focused on your goal and where you're trying to go when you take those type of risks. Sacrifice money that you really might not have, but you see the bigger picture at the taking it.
All right, we have a phone call. Caller, you're on the line. Good morning. Caller, you are on the line. All right, we'll get back with them. Kathy, you were going to go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say, for me, it's all about budgeting. I live by a budget for everything. When I wanted to purchase my home, I went without eating out. I went without those shoes and those handbags and maybe that sew-in or whatever it is that I was investing in.
And we love our hair now.
Yes, honey, yes. But I got on a budget and I set aside money the same way that we are to pay our tithes. We also have to pay ourselves when we go to work. And I had another young lady who told me, view your income as like your silent investor for your business.
Right.
So Department of Veteran Affairs, they'll know it now, but they probably didn't know before. That's my silent investor for my business, because a lot of the money that I use to go in my business, that's my personal money that I'm putting into that. And I don't look for it to come back in any monetary way. It's more about the service and the stewardship in that. And I guess for me, business owners start to chase money, but when you're out there and you're serving, the money will come back to you.
Right, you're right. I don't know how many people can do this. When I first started, at the time I had a group home and I wanted to transition. Like those kids, they was working my nerves, y'all. Like I was like, this ain't for me. I love helping, but this isn't for me. But if you ever heard of Grant Cardone, he's really big as far as selling and learning how to make money. And he gave a coaching tool about learning how to live on 40% of your money, 40% of your income, and paying yourself first. Now, when I first started doing that, when I tell you I went from riches to rags, not rags to riches. I was like, I can't buy shoes right now. If I'm living on 40% of my income, this is tough. But by doing that, it allowed me to put in different places. And so I put 10% into education, 20% went into outsourcing so I can know where I was going with my other outsourcing. And then I also put into training, and I invest in advertising. Those are the places that I put the money that I wasn't spending. And so everyone can do 40%, living off 40%. I get that. But we pay the government first. We pay our taxes first, and we never pay ourselves. We pay all our bills. We go out to eat. We get everything, and then we like whatever's left over and put up. But if you can get used to and just open a small account, maybe put $100 automatically that goes to the side, and I do that for my like spending, like play around money. I have an account that that's where I spend that. That's if I run out of play money, then that's a wrap.
Yes.
But I separate it from my personal and stuff like that. But if you can start doing that and putting money aside, you'll start seeing that you have the money that you thought you didn't have. And that's what happens with a lot of people. They tell me that they don't have the funds to get their business going. All right, so let's jump into the name of your nonprofit. It has meaning behind it, and I want our guests to understand exactly what is the meaning and how'd you come up with it?
Chandeliers for Christ. It was something that I guess God kind of placed on my heart. There's a lot of darkness that's around us in the world. We turn on the news and it gets depressing after a while. You're watching somebody just got killed, or there's a mass shooting at a high school and things like that. So I went back to biblically where the Bible tells us that we're to be the light of the world, and working with young ladies, I didn't want to keep it just let's be a light.
Right.
Chandeliers. When you walk into a room, no matter how dark that room may be, no matter how ugly the room, the paint, whatever, if there's a nice chandelier, if there's a nice light in that room, the focus is on the light. So that's my message to the girls that come through my program. Be the light of the world. Be the change that you want to see. Be that example. Don't follow the ordinary. You're the one. You're the light is within you.
Right. I love that. Now, with the mentoring program, is it a program or is it one-on-one mentoring? Give us a little bit about how it actually, what the program consists of.
I've actually been doing one-on-one and some group mentoring, and it started with my daughter and a small group of her friends, just getting with them and talking with them. A lot of times I listen. I do more listening and learning from them, as well as giving them maybe different little exercises that they can do as they talk about challenges with other females at school, or challenges being a teenager and dealing with peer pressure and things like that. I give them little exercises that they can try, and we'll come back and talk about it to see if it's something that worked or whatnot. Right now, I am going through a transition because instead of doing that, I originally started trying to do every other weekend, and I found that during my son's travel season, it got a little bit cumbersome, right? So what I'm looking at doing now is revamping that to where I can do maybe a 1 week or 2 1-week sessions during the summer with some girls from our inner city, and maybe just get them together for that entire week and focus on things like etiquette, manners, makeup, hair, beauty, things of that nature, teaching them leadership skills, teaching them the entrepreneurship skills that it took me maybe 40 years to start to learn to market and things like that. All of the stuff that we're learning now as adults in our business, I want to teach them that at the younger age so that they can grow in that. And by the time they come out of school, they already have that entrepreneur spirit, and it'll put them on the road to success.
Right. They are going. All right. So let me make sure I say hellos to some of those that are on Facebook Live. Hey, Tamika Thomas. Hey, Chandra. Hey, Jeremy. We have Veronica Live. Hey, Tim. Hey, Kendra. Hey, KD. Hey, Cedric. Hey, Rachel. How are you guys doing? If you guys are just now tuning in, we're talking to Kathy Smith and Miss Betta Etta Chetta from Ohio, and we are getting into the entrepreneurship journey journey. Now, you guys can always go check out the free 5-day workshop that I allow you guys to learn how to use Facebook at successwithebonycruz.com. It is a free workshop that you can learn what to do, how to set up your profile, how to really get going. Now, if you have any particular questions that you want to ask in general, please give us a call today at 813-444-9588. That's 813-444-9588. What's up, Barack? Hey, that is he said, hey, Kathy.
Hey, Barack.
That is comedian of Tampa Bay right there, y'all. Listen, he is taking over. I love him. All right, so I'm going to jump in to, hey, Miss Justina. I know I'm kind of Tanya Lewis. Hey. Oh, my goodness.
Hey,
you guys are showing some love today. All right, so let me jump in to transition over to Ed, because your story is a little bit different. You started off giving out coats in Ohio because during the wintertime it's cold, and not just mentoring, you started giving back in a different way. So let's talk about your business and the name of your business, how it kind of came about as well.
Yes, so with my organization, it's called the Better My City Foundation, and I just wanted to find a way to give back to my community, and I really didn't see a lot of us helping with coats. And of course, we know up north it gets very cold. And I mean, some places give out coats, but we don't really hit the inner city, or they have to be here. We're not in their neighborhood giving out the coats. They have to come get the coats. So I just started picking a neighborhood each year, which I've been doing now for the past 3 years. And basically, I just collect the coats. I go out and ask, and people just, give me the coats. So I pick a day, and I, join with the YMCA this last year, and we gave out coats, and the Y actually gave out shoes, have free food, bounce house, face painting. At the same time, kids get, have fun and get something at the same time with it. So with that, I love doing it. I love doing that. It's a tearjerker sometimes, and I even got to bring some of my family in, just because they don't really get to see that. I would definitely say I grew up a little bit suburban there, but they don't get to.
We got a caller on the line. I do apologize. Caller, how are you? You're on air. All right. Listen, you guys' number is 813-444-9588. Don't be afraid and hang up, y'all. We got you. Go ahead. Finish your story.
Yeah, but like I said, I got to even bring my family into it, and they brought their friends, and they got to see it. It was a real need for it because they never, they don't have to worry about a coat each year. So we got the help, and now they are, always willing to help each year to volunteer and set up tables, even give out coats and things like that. But what I didn't get to talk about was the name of my brow and mink business. Right. It's called Better Lash, Better Brows. Again, with Better Lash, Better Brows, it's just enhancing the woman's beauty with the new age technology that we use as far as, enhancing the brows and the lashes.
Right. And see, and let me tell y'all, when we talk about better, is because when we were working on some of her business names and stuff, I'm like, we got to keep it under one umbrella. You can have a lot of businesses, but if we keep it under one umbrella, it'll help you out. So your nonprofit, it could be Better My City. Your eyelash business is Better Brows, but although it's under Better Enterprises. And so therefore, it's a lot of entities. And that's what sometimes we have a lot of ideas, guys and gals that are listening, and we don't know how to put it all out there.
He kept bringing me back. I tell you that. Keep you in line. She let you go out, but she ring you back in. Okay, well, let me pull you back with everything I said, and I catch it all.
Yeah, you got to catch up now. You can't let it go. Because y'all have great ideas, trust me. And I try not to be on y'all so much. All right, so a question that I do remember from my email, and either one of you all can jump on this one, is entrepreneurship, being a mother, a wife, a family member. How do you balance it? How do you make time for family, your business, kids, and not lose it all?
Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kat. Oh, everybody on this.
Because mine is a little different, I think. So I want to hear her.
Okay.
It gets tough. I'm not going to lie to you. It gets really, really tough. But I've learned to get me an agenda, and I have to write things out. I use my phone. I use my book, because sometimes I may not be looking at my phone. So I'm flipping in my book, and I have to literally see it like, okay, wait, before I commit to this, does Tyree have a football game or a basketball game somewhere, or what else do I have going on? Because, I mean, being a mom, you have to be there to support your children. Being a wife, my husband keeps me busy. He's with Kappas, and he's with the Motorcycle Club, Buffalo Soldiers. They do a lot of stuff for the community as well. So we're out and we're involved in that. So I have to kind of check with everybody's schedule. We sit down. I'm kind of old-fashioned. I like to sit down and have dinner, because around the dinner table you can talk about what everybody has going on. It kind of just a checks and balance type system to make sure you're not stepping over anybody or forgetting about anybody.
That's good, because that sounds also that you do have the support of the family in regards to what you're doing. All right, so you said you have a different perspective.
Well, because I'm coming in from the single family home perspective, so anything could throw you off your grind. You can get frustrated really easy. Like, you know what, I'm not even going to work on this website today. This boy keep running around. You can't do it. But you just have to stay focused and stay determined and look at the bigger picture. What are you doing this for? You're doing it for this little boy who's running around, driving you crazy. But sometimes, again, you have to, stay focused, because things are thrown. When you think you're going on a great path, something's thrown in there and it's going to knock you down. And it may knock you down for a little minute, but you got to get back up and keep going. Right. And you got to just stay focused on, you know what, at the end of the day, it's going to be all these blocks thrown at me. I just got to weave them and keep going, because at the end of the day, you're doing this for in your heart. You know you can do it, and you just got to stay focused. Keep doing it. Because it's hard work. It's very hard work, especially when you're doing it by yourself. Yes. You don't have a whole team around you. It's very hard.
Right. I can relate to that, though. Honestly, Ebony can attest to me taking those pauses here and there. Like, okay, I got to focus on this, or I have to focus on that. And I think you honed in on a very key topic. Yes, you're going to get those curveballs, and you may have to pause for a minute, but it's important to come back and stay your course. Yeah, of course.
See, in the beginning, when I first started, guys, I started working with young girls, right? And I love working with the girls, and now my girls are having kids. Like, I'm godmother and everything, right? But then something was led not only for me to start working with women, because, for me, I had the support system of my family, but sometimes it's good to have that sisterhood. Yes. And I had to just create my own environment for sisterhood, because I tried to join other environments, and I just, y'all didn't let me in there, y'all.
We had to kick down our own door.
I had to create my own environment, because I know how that is. Yes, you may have your husband, you may have your kids, you may have, your spouse and stuff like that. But sometimes you need that group of women that are just like you, that are like-minded in so many ways, and have that same drive to keep you pushing. That's what you need. And so that was one thing that I definitely had to do, is create my own environment, get outside of my comfort zone, and go meet new people. Stop going off the same old people they feel like are the who's, and make your own who's, because ultimately we are all somebody. All right, so let's go into another question. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, because I'm doing Facebook Live, guys. But I am going to open the phone line for y'all, 813-444-9588. If something is wrong with the phones where you guys can't get in, just shoot me an inbox. That way I can kind of understand what is happening today. Okay, so we're transitioning in from, just doing it. All right, so you find yourself, you're in the heat of it. You are doing it, and then, bam, the distraction comes, right? And you're looking at everyone else online, because Facebook, we make life look so pretty. Everybody make it look pretty. Right. Everybody businesses, we banging, we, 30 sales this week, y'all.
I made $1 million in 24 hours.
Everybody, that's how we do online. You know what I'm saying? I was guilty when I first started, and one of my coaches told me, listen, the struggle is what people want to see. People want to know the struggle because they're going through the struggle. They don't want to always know the success at the end. And for some odd reason, we have a hard time sharing the struggle. And when I started sharing my struggle, it was just like a magnet came. Just women just were like, oh my God, like I want to tell.
They could relate.
Yeah, they wanted to relate. So when you're in the midst of it, right, and you can't decide, should I stop or should I go? What are some things that you could tell anybody that's watching right now that can help them in either direction, whether it's to take a pause or it's to keep digging? And I know both of you are going to come from two different directions. That's why I like this question. Who's going first?
Well, I guess I can go.
All right.
Just period. I feel like, with the question that she just asked.
Do I pause or do I go?
I had to pause. And when I say I had to pause for mental reasons.
Okay.
Because you can get so, you can want to do this and you so want to do it, but you got so much going on right here and nothing is working out. Everything is disarray because you got to take a pause on something. You can't take a pause on your family. So right now I got to take a pause on my dreams, my business, right? Because I got to get family together because that's like what I'm around every day. That's what I have to be around. I got to make sure family's together. So I would say take a pause if you have to take a pause, because when you take that pause, you got time to regroup. You might got new thoughts. You might got new ideas. What you was working on probably wasn't it. That's probably why it's so hard to keep you going. So once you took that pause, got family together, in the midst of taking that pause to get family together, I reevaluated what I really wanted to do, because I was just shooting into what I wanted to do, but I didn't have all my facts straight. So in the midst of that pause, I had time to get my facts straight and get my life straight.
All right.
So I would say take a pause.
I love it. I love it.
I'm going to say go. Because so often we get stuck when we take those pauses and we don't come back. You're so busy trying to figure it out and trying to wait until you have it all together and your polished product, when in all actuality, the blessing is in your work, getting that. People want to know, what is it that you're doing and what did it take? Like what we're talking about this morning, what did it take for you to get there? And when you just say go, as women, especially as Black women, I'm going to talk to us.
Yes.
Sometimes we shy away from embracing other Black women. We shy away from networking and collaborating with each other. But that's where you have to get out of your comfort zone. And I was big on that. Ebony and I have something common in our past. We're both tomboys.
Yeah.
Or we used to be. I have more male friends than I had female friends.
Me
because
too.
I don't like the confusion and the bickering and the arguing. The only person I compete with when I wake up is me.
Right.
And to be a better me than I was yesterday. And that's why I say go. Build your network. Build your tribe. Get those like-minded women. It's not rocket science. Find somebody that you share common goals with. Somebody that's moving and grooving and moving in the direction that you want to go, and they're successful, and you follow them. You get out, you get to know them, you network, you build that tribe of women that are going to be there to support you. And in those moments when you feel like you can't go, that tribe is going to be there to keep pushing you along.
So that's a great transition into this book that you all did. It was a collaboration of women. All right, so we got to take a break real quick. We're listening to hashtag On the Cruise right here on In Touch Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star. When we come back, we're going to jump into this collaboration.
So believe we 100 now. 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen of sundown. 184-361 Rick. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward. Just recline. Just ask Ricky. Plus your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361 Rick. Call Ricky. Ask Ricky is a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecues? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
We are back. Why do I love that commercial so much? I say the Rib Man, baby. All right, for those of you that are on YouTube, okay, so there's a couple of ways you can get in touch with me. You can just check me out on YouTube, which is EBONE Ebony Cruz, or you can cruise on over to my website. That is successwithebonycruz.com. I spelled the name because my mother wanted to be so different with me, you know, and she wanted to put that E on the end. And all throughout life, people would say Ebonne, Ebony, you know, and I'm like, it is not the name. And let me tell you, it took me a while to embrace my name. I used to hate. I used to be like, why? This is like, why can't you just say my name right? Just call me Eb. And then I went to like, you know what? I'm going to make y'all say my name right. It is Ebony, Ebone, Cruz. But you guys can check out the website. Like I said, it is a free 5-day workshop. And this workshop goes into 5 days of telling you how to get your social media set up to leverage it up. Do some of the gurus do. Use some psychological triggers to get those sales online. But it's something that you got to be consistent with. All right, gang? All right, so we don't have much time left on this show today. See how time flies by? I love it. I love it. I love it. We have somebody. Hey, Ebony. Hey, Miss Johnson. How are you? Hey, Miss Jefferson. Good stuff, Kathy. Yes, Kathy. Good stuff. Now, speaking of that, Kathy, I want to talk about the collaboration real quick with the book, because you said something that us as Black women, we are hard to work with one another. Like sometimes, man, everybody want to wear the crown, and we all have our own crown. We just got to know who is in which lane, how to stay in the lanes. Go ahead.
Well, I did a collaboration last year. It's We Are Women of Substance. It was a collaboration of 11 of us total, and basically
that was a lot.
Yes, it was.
Oh, wow.
And we were from all over. We didn't actually meet face to face until after the book was done.
The power of social media, guys. Oh my goodness.
We were coming from all over, and We Are Women of Substance was a book of women that have overcome some trials and some issues in life. What did it take for you to get to where you are today? What did it take? When did you have that aha moment? Like, okay, gone are the things of my past, and I want something different. I want something better. What did you go through? How did you go through it? And what are you doing now? And each of us wrote a chapter in that book, basically attesting to that.
Oh, nice, nice.
I would have been able to write me a chapter in that book.
Well, hey, I'm working on a new book project,
like,
so I'll keep you in mind.
See that?
Posted on that one.
That's that networking. Off air, I've said several times that everyone that I've had inside of this studio, I've met online, and I've never met them in person until either here or an event or something. But I've met everyone online. That's the fun part about social media and being able to network and, you know, stuff like that. So for those of you that are watching, social media is powerful. Use it, network, get out your comfort zones and use it. All right, Miss Better Etta Cheddar, collaborations, Etta Better Cheddar. I got to say that like. Doesn't it sound like a bag of potato chips too? Right. That's see, some part of the brand.
As far as collaborations, to be honest with you, only other person I ever really collaborated with Miss Ebony Cruz here. I've done a lot of stuff on my own. A lot of stuff that I've done for the community, it's just been on my own. Besides when I partnered with the YMCA, which is called H. Linder downtown Cincinnati. And that was a really great opportunity because that was the first time my event actually was able to be indoors. It was always outside. So I was very grateful for that. You know, they donated the building to me. So that's really been one of my only collaborations. Definitely looking forward to more.
I was going to say, so that's in my head.
You know, I'm looking forward to more collaborations, you know, more help. So definitely working more with Ebony Cruz and Miss Kathy.
Same here.
Yeah, in my head, I'm already saying, so that's our goal for 2019.
Yeah,
You're gonna
more
do
collaborations.
Yeah, you got some more collaboration. All right, now this is where we go into the point where you look into the camera right up here and you talk to that entrepreneur one piece of advice, because entrepreneurship, it is a skill set and it is a daily action, and it's not something that we do on and off and think it's going to work. So this is where we go into asking, talking to that person, looking in that camera and telling them one piece of advice from your experience.
I would say be authentic. Be your authentic self. Be genuine. I talk a lot about in some of my Facebook lives how I would put on my perfect patty face for the world to see, because you don't want people to see you when you messed up. But in all actuality, that's how people relate to you. They want to know the human side of you. What is it that it took for you to go through to get to where you are? People value people. People don't value your products, your books. I have some books at home on the shelf. If you guys want a book, I have it for you. But I know that people value people. They want to know who you are as a person, and they will follow the person, not the product.
Love it. Love it.
Exactly. I would definitely say be yourself, but not only that, not only being yourself, have discipline for yourself. Discipline yourself on things you're going to do and things you won't do. And also, just, you know, stay focused. Stay focused on what you want to do. There will be a lot of friends around you, a lot of people around you that kind of throw you off and may not see your dream and what you want to do. Just stay focused and, again, be authentic and true to yourself.
All right, be authentic and true to yourself. All right, gang, so the task for this week, I have been kind of forgiving, not giving out tasks. I normally do it online. But this week, I want you all to challenge yourself into doing that one daunting task that you have been running from all week or all month you're just afraid of. It could be joining a new networking group. It could be reading a book or purchasing a course. It could be actually setting up your own funnel online or setting up your Facebook page. But I want you all to really tackle that one task that you've been running from for quite some time. And that task could also mean just sitting down getting prioritized. But that is the goal for this week. You got to take baby steps. You got to crawl sometimes. But I want you all to start putting action towards that one thing that you have been afraid of. All right. So now, before we get out of here, I got to make sure you guys can find these beautiful ladies. I know you all kind of go to the website. You can check me out, Success with Ebony Cruz, Ebonne, Cruz. But I want you to be able to find these women because they offer more than what I can. And this is how we collaborate. This is how we work with each other. All right. All right. Cool. Kathy, tell us where can they find you, the book if they want to get your book, you know, how to help if they want to mentor. If they're somewhere else and they want to work with you, how can they do that?
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm usually under my name, Kathy, Kathy, middle initial R, Smith. My email is my handle, I believe, on Instagram and on Twitter. That's Ms. MZ Smith, SMITH 060809. The ending piece to that, if you want to send me an email, is at gmail.com. You can reach me. My website is www.chandeliersforchrist.com.
Awesome. And if anybody is listening, just drop her name in there real quick for us, our website for us. Oh, man. Resume. There we go.
All right, and for me, again, I am Etta, and you can find me on Facebook at Better My City 513. That's the coat drive and nonprofit. You can also find me at Better Brows, Better Lash for mink brows and lash training. Definitely inbox DM, get your appointment.
You know it goes down in the DM now.
Yeah, I do. Instagram is Better Enterprise. Just Better Enterprise under Instagram.
All right, guys. So we got some time to hang out real quick before we get out of here. So let's get into some personal stuff. You know, what is like your favorite food? Let's learn a little bit about you. What is one of your hobbies, your favorite food? We'll go favorite food first, Kathy, and then we'll shoot to Etta.
My favorite food is seafood. So if you like seafood, call me. I'm your girl.
I do too.
I love to cook seafood. I actually prefer to cook it myself.
Okay.
But my husband and I checked out this restaurant last night, the Shrimp Boat, over off of Bloomingdale.
I've heard of. I've never been there. It was good.
My God, Ebony, it was so good.
Okay. Yes. We got to do a lunch and learn with seafood. Then.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. What about you?
For me, I like seafood. Right now, it's a lot of food that's dangerous that we shouldn't be eating due to the government shutdown. So a lot of people they weren't working. So we shouldn't have been eating no eggs, no ground beef, no pancakes. Lettuce.
Yeah.
So basically, you really want to kind of go vegan. A lot of vegetables in your diet now.
All right. So what's some things in your downtime when we have me time? What is that one thing you like to do for me time?
For me, I'm usually listening to music. My praise and worship comes through songs. So my give back, my time with God is in my quiet time where I can listen to music and just get my praise on.
You know what's funny about that? When I used to work that 9 to 5, right? I would go to work listening to trap music.
Right.
I'm in traffic, ready to just get it, tear everybody up. I work at a job. Good morning. They like, yo, you so aggressive.
And that's why I switched.
No, me, what I do in my downtown, to be honest with you, I surf the internet and, look for stuff that got to do with minks, microblading, find new ways, new sale tactics.
Oh.
Good deal.
All right. Any pet owners?
I do.
Oh, get out.
I have a beautiful 4-year-old Rottweiler by the name of Jade.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have a handsome 2-year-old King Corso by the name of Seven.
Oh, yes. I don't have pets.
Yes.
I tried to fish for a while and they didn't last.
Well, I have fish.
Yes.
I have a gator guard. I have a peacock bass. And I also have a tiger stripe.
Nice. So not only are you raising kids, you still got the other
So you know,
kids.
we feeding a lot. I'm feeding a lot of people on my little pocket.
That is
the
true.
Dogs, the fish eat live fish. So
That's that motivation for entrepreneurship.
yeah, you know, you just got to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. All right, so we did hobbies. We didn't do hobbies. What are some outside hobbies? I know the business can be a lot, but what
I would say my outside
some
hobby that I've just started, figuring out that I've been doing is, you have people to ask you questions, and sometimes, some of those things come to a little profession because you won't answer. You might want somebody to take you to
consulting.
Consulting is what I've been doing.
Yes.
Under the enterprise.
Yes,
Okay.
that's been one thing I've been, doing, not giving everything away for free because everybody got jewels inside.
Nice,
So,
nice.
Okay, so that's
All right.
consulting.
I think my hobby is just hanging out with my girls, just getting together, having a good time, a glass of wine, and just kind of relaxing. Through that, we pass off business ideas with each other, things like that. Figure out what our next chapter looks like. So
entrepreneurship is
Yes.
fun. It's fun.
It's very fun.
All right, it's not as bad as people like to think.
No,
It's
not at
It's
all.
not at all.
For me, I'm a new mom, so I'm learning the old way I did things now with the new way. So it's kind of fun to hang out with my younger one because I get to be around her more than with my other ones. I was young. I was on the grind back then. So I'm really getting to just see what motherhood really is,
Yes.
I think that's a lot of my downtime that I get to get into, which is pretty fun. I like it. I
Yeah.
do. My little baby, she been talking to her like they've been like grown people.
My girl.
All right, so we got to get out of here. I do appreciate you guys hanging out. I like to show and tell you all about who these women are, how they're doing their business, and how you can too. So get encouraged. Make sure you do check out the website, successwiththeebonycruise.com, and get started with your 5-day workshop. Get that business off the ground and get going. Check us out next week right here on In Touch Radio, where everyone is a star. I know.
Radio. Tell a friend. In Touch Radio. Smooth Soul is In Touch Radio.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer? I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care.